Hello friends and welcome back to the channel. Today we're going to have a little in-depth look at a car, a model of a car that was first seen by the public exclusively in 1979. And so it's a classic car, and it's a lovely car. And this is it. This is what we're talking about today. The BMW M1. BMW M1 has an interesting history. The Pro Car Series was brought along in 1979, and what they done was they took the top 5 Formula 1 drivers from the Friday practice, and they had a race on the Saturday with these top 5 drivers from Formula 1 racing against other top drivers. It's a very interesting series. Very interesting series. Now this particular BMW M1, as in all BMW M1s at the time, had a 6-cylinder mid-mounted engine, 6-cylinder engine. And in the Formula 1 drivers that would have drove it were people like Jan Lammers, Niki Lauda, Nelson Piquet. So it's some pretty famous drivers. Now this class of series, these particular cars, only ran for a couple of years in association with the Formula 1 drivers and that. And I had one of these. I had the black livery Scale Electrics one almost 40 years ago, and I loved it. That was the 132. This is the 124. This is the 124 model. And I love the colour scheme. I love the Jägermeister, whatever. I love this colour scheme. But I love this car. It's so sort of, low. It's low down. It's a wide stance. And I'm just going to flip the camera around and let's have a closer look at this beauty. And do a little comparison with another 124 car I have here, just to compare the different chassis. Let's go. Now, you may ask yourself, why is there Ferrari sitting here? And really it's just a comparison of the chassis. So let's get this beauty off its holder. And first of all, I just want to show you that both these cars are produced in 2024 by Carrera. So, but very different chassis. On this chassis you have the guide has a fairly long sweep to it, the sprung-loaded guide. This one, much shorter. That's one difference, There's other differences. Very easy to take the magnets out of the Ferrari. Take the screws out, magnets come out. Very easy. Okay, but that's not the start of today's show, so let's put that out of the way. So on this chassis, you need to get your screws out. You've 2 in there, you've 2 there, and then you take the chassis off to get your magnets out. So it's a different ball game with this. But underneath you can see we have our sensor and we have our switch. Okay, and for me, the only importance of these switches is nothing to do with anything else but to make the cars run the reverse on my analog track, which is a brilliant feature for me. So that's what that switch is of importance to me. The people who run digital, it's got some other importance, but that doesn't concern me. Look at this car. Look at that big fat exhaust pipe. Great looking. You've the rear end of I presume that's the gearbox. Gearbox? Diff? I don't know, not sure. Lovely rear end. Look at that, fantastic looking. We have those wheels. Just bring it up close. Look at those wheels. That's beautiful. Absolutely beautiful wheels. I love those spoked wheels. They look fantastic. Highly detailed. We have the outside mirror, which are small mirrors, but inside of the real car and also in the model, if you look, we had the big mirror See his normal interior mirror? They had a big mirror to see out for racing, but as the driver said, you couldn't see much with all of these guys at the back. You had your engine in here, so you had all these guys at the back. So view was restricted a little bit. But isn't that beautiful? The colour scheme, everything. And this colour scheme was not on the one we raced in the 7980. Serious? This came along later. Actually, there was a car. Oh, when was it? In 2019, there was a car painted in these colours for Jan Lammers for like a pro car reunion that was set in Germany, and they had a car painted in these colours. I'm not sure if I had the number 1, possibly not. But so that's the beast. Now we have a look inside. Let's pop the body off. Have a look inside. So you have your standard setup. This is your standard 124 Carrera setup with the motor. It's a nice strong setup. I like it, and you can take the whole thing off and do any work. This one, when I taken the magnets out, this wire did disconnect, so I had to reconnect that wire. That's the only thing. You gotta take a lot of crap off sometimes to get at the magnet underneath. Another interesting feature, this car. Okay, now they're both produced the same year. This car has your traditional setup. It has your brass bearings in the back, brass bearings in the front. Okay, now let me just show you something on the Ferrari that this doesn't have. There's your standard Carrera chip. Now, we move to the Ferrari, and if you have a look at this, see the Ferrari front suspension system. You actually have a little type of sprung front suspension system. So your front axle moves up and down. Very interesting. And we have adjustability here as well. You can see here we have adjustability. That's something we don't have on this beauty. We just have your basic axle. But still, interesting to see the difference in the two chassis from both cars that were produced in 2024. Now, as usual, just to say, I got this car from Slot Car Union, where I get all my slot cars at the moment. And for me, the prices are good. If you buy a certain amount, your postage is free. Maybe a little bit high on the postage. There's other places you don't need to spend quite as much to get postage free. So if I only wanted to buy 1 or 2 cars, I'd prefer free postage. I'd like that. I spend a lot of money with them, an awful lot of money with them. I've never emailed and said, hey, what's the story? Can you do me a better postage? I should do, but I don't like doing stuff like that. So I don't like sending emails to companies. Yeah, so there we go. I'm going to put the screws back into this body. And first, we're going to give it a little run on my indoor track, which you guys haven't seen in a while. And let's see it bobbing around a lot of corners with very short straight. I've no magnet in it. I've taken the magnets out. And I've no weight in it. And I haven't got aftermarket tires. I will get Paul Gauge tires for this. You can get them from Slot Car Union. So I will get Paul Gauge tires for this and see how it runs later. But at the moment we're running with no magnets. And just going to give it a run around on the standard tires. I'll give them a little bit of a sanding later when we go out to the big track. Let's have a little run around the small track first. Okay guys, let's go to the small slot room in the house. As you can see, you can still fairly move around if you don't give it too much throttle. Don't give it drift, keep it straight. It'll still fairly move. Good racing for the, a little bit too much drift there. It'll race good. One thing for sure, a 124 car will certainly test the strength of your barriers and your track scenery, because when these things hit, there's a lot of weight in them. They will bash your trees apart, they will knock your barriers off the corners. They'll test your track, guys. Absolutely. Okay, so we're out in the garage now, and I'm going to give it a run on the garage track, and let's see how it goes. No magnets, standard tires. I can feel already it's going to slide around. Now after a while I'll clean these tires up a little bit. Let me see if it makes any difference. Let's go. Okay, so I'm just going to give it a run with the tires as they are. A bit dusty, a bit dirty. Standard Carrera tires. As you can see, lots of sliding around. If you wanted to slide around, reduce speed into the corner like this. Perfect around the corners, you know. So if you want to give it a bit. Let's see how it will handle. As you can see, lots of sliding there. I'm going to clean the tires now in a second. Okay, here we go. I'll stop here and get my tire cleaner and somehow do this while holding the camera. There's a lot of dirt on those tires, I can tell already. But so there's a clean tire cleaner. You can see we're getting a wee bit of dirt, just a little bit. Now I haven't sanded the tires or anything yet either, you know, and you can actually see a lot of dirt. Okay, that's just a quick cleaning. Don't know if that'll make any difference. Let's give it a go. Yeah, straight away you can see the difference. So guys, it does make sense to clean your tires in between races if you're at a club or anything like that. Give your tires a quick dusting. Now we're going to give these tires just a little bit of a sand. Now, to sand your tires, usually I'd get the car and I'd hold it on a flat surface like this, and I'd use a 50 grit sander. I tend to use an orbital sander, so we'll just give this a quick sanding. Let's have a look at that. Okay, let's try that. I changed my mind. I thought I'd do it this way instead. So, I don't have a tire truing machine and a tire sanding machine. I have nothing. So I'll get my piece of wet and dry paper, stick it on the track. So really I should be holding this down with some this. Don't even know why I'm showing this, because all my friends, Nico will be horrified. Sorry, Nico. You should really wobble it from side to side, but I'm trying to do it one-handed. Hold on. Let me use my belly to activate the trigger. Maybe. Let's just, yeah, that'll work. Okay. a bit better. Yeah, completely unnecessary. That's a little bit. Yeah. How not to chew your tires. Do not do what I do. Okay. Let's go back to the track I was on. I don't even know why I showed just that. I know myself, I should just go, now I've sanded the tires and let's see if there's a difference. Because everybody be going, oh Harry, what are you doing? Hey, I'm doing it my way. And if there's one thing you know, guys, my way is usually a little bit different. Let me zoom back a little. Okay, let's try it. See if any difference with the tires sanded a bit. Oh, can even leave the track. Amazing is that. These 124s make an awful click when they leave the track. So that's it, guys. That's the review on this fine looking car, BMW M1. And nice memories, as I said, because I used to have the black with the gold lettering that Sky Electrics made almost 40 years ago. So it's a nice memory. I always like the BMW M1 cars. They're beautiful. So I enjoyed that. Productive day. I took some photos using my camera. I'll stick a couple of them up on the post as well. And yeah, so that was most enjoyable. So onwards and upwards, and we'll see what we're going to do next. I don't know. You don't know. Nobody knows. Let's see. Maybe we'll talk about digital and omni boxes and stuff like that. I don't know. Let's see.